Good afternoon and welcome to Ebdon Road Crematorium and Cemetery, just outside Bristol in Somerset. Now today we're here to visit the final resting place of a TV personality who unfortunately had her life taken from her. She was the host of Crime Watch UK, and that can only be one person, and that is Jill Dando. Yes, another very sad one. Now I would have been stuffed if I'd come in without knowing where her stone is, because it's quite big and all the stones look very similar. But luckily I went on to Google Maps, and Google Maps actually showed the location of her grave marker, so I walked straight over to it, which is quite lucky. But anyway, I'm sitting in the Garden of Remembrance at the moment, and there are flowers everywhere. It's incredible, beautiful place. I'll spin you around the same as usual, show you around the crematorium or the cremations, while I tell you a little bit about Jill Dando.
Jill Wendy Dando was born at Ashcombe House Maternity Home in Weston-super-Mare, Somerset. She was a daughter of Jack Dando and Winifred Mary Jean Hockey, who died of leukemia aged 57. She had one brother, Nigel, who was a journalist for BBC Radio Bristol. When she was 3 years old, it was discovered that she had a hole in her heart and a blocked pulmonary artery. She had heart surgery on 12th of January 1965. Dando was educated at Wall Infant School, Greenwood Junior School and Broadoak Sixth Form Centre, where she was head girl and completed her A-levels. She then went on to study journalism at South Glamorgan Institute of Higher Education. Dando's first job was as a trainee reporter for the local weekly newspaper, the Western Mercury, where her father and brother worked. After 5 years as a print journalist, she started to work for the BBC, becoming a newsreader for BBC Radio Devon in 1985. That year, she transferred to BBC South West, where she presented a regional news magazine programme, Spotlight South West. In 1987, she worked for Television South West, then BBC Spotlight in Plymouth. In early 1988, Dando moved from regional to national television in London to present BBC television news, specifically the short on-the-hour bulletins that aired on both BBC One and BBC Two from 1986 until the mid-1990s. She presented the BBC television programmes Breakfast Time, Breakfast News, the BBC 1 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, the travel programme Holiday, the crime appeal series Crime Watch from 1995 until her death, and occasionally Songs of Praise. In 1994 she moved to Fulham. On the 25th of April 1999 she presented the first episode of Antiques Inspectors. She was scheduled to present the 6 o'clock news on the evening of the following day. She was featured on the cover of that week's Radio Times magazine. Dando was also booked to host the British Academy Television Awards 1999 alongside Michael Parkinson at Grosvenor House Hotel on the 9th of May. On the 5th of September, BBC One resumed airing of Antiques Inspectors, the final series to be recorded by Dando. The programme was cancelled following her death, but it was decided later in the year that it should be aired as a tribute to her. At the time of her death, Dando was among those with the highest profile of the BBC's on-screen staff, and had been the 1997 BBC Personality of the Year. Crime Watch reconstructed her murder in an attempt to aid the police in the search for her killer. After Barry George was charged with the murder, but acquitted, Crime Watch made no further appeals for information concerning the case. From 1989 to 1996, Dando engaged in a relationship with BBC executive Bob Wheaton. She then had a brief relationship with National Park Warden Simon Basil. In December 1997, Dando met gynaecologist Alan Farthing, later Queen Elizabeth II's personal physician, on a blind date set by a mutual friend. Farthing was separated from his wife at the time. A couple of months after Farthing's divorce was finalised, the couple announced that they were engaged on the 31st of January 1999. Their wedding was set to take place on the 25th of September. On the morning of the 26th of April 1999, 37-year-old Dando left Farthing's home in Chiswick. She returned alone by car to the house she owned at 29 Gowan Avenue, Fulham. She had lived in the house, but by April 1999 was in the process of selling it and did not visit it frequently. She was there to collect contract documents which had been faxed to her there by her agent, John Roseman. As Dando reached her front door at about 11:32 BST, British summertime, she was shot once in the head. Her body was discovered about 14 minutes later by neighbour Helen Doble. Police were called at 11:47. Dando was taken to nearby Charing Cross Hospital, where she was declared dead on arrival at 13:03. Forensic study indicated the gun had been pressed against her head when the shot was fired. Richard Hughes, her next-door neighbour, heard a scream from Dando, but heard no shot. He thought it had been somebody surprising somebody. He looked out of his window and, while not realising what had happened, made the only certain sighting of the killer, a 6-foot-tall white man, aged around 40, walking away from Dando's house. There is a lot of speculation about the reason for the execution-style murder of Jill Dando, ranging from a jealous ex-boyfriend or an unknown lover, to the possibility that a deranged fan who had his advances rejected by her have been ruled out by police. Cold case reviews by the police after 2008 concluded that Dando was killed by a professional assassin in a hard contact execution. Pressing the gun against her head would have acted as a suppressor, muffling the sound of the shot and preventing the killer from being spattered with blood. Jill Dando's funeral took place on the 21st of May at Clarence Park Baptist Church in Weston-super-Mare. She was buried next to her mother in Ebdon Road Cemetery, which is where we are today.
Well, that's all the information I could find on Jill Dando. I don't think we'll ever know who actually did it, unless someone does a deathbed confession or something like that. But I think the police thought they had the right person, but I haven't got a clue. I don't know why anyone would want to kill her. I thought possibly it might have been connected to Crime Watch, but apparently not. Right, well, the final resting place is around here somewhere. So I'll spin you around and we'll go and see if we can find it. Well, I know it's here because I saw it a little bit earlier on. I have no idea. I think it's over here. Yes, I definitely think it's over here. And it is. It's just here in front of me. Jean Dando, 1928 to 1986. You were truly wonderful, now so sadly missed. Rest in peace, sweetheart. And underneath, Jill Dando, 1961 to 1999. Your beautiful smile, that unaffected elegance, a genuine star. We love you. That is the final resting place of Jill Dando. Well, that was the final resting place of Jill Dando. Another very sad one. I can't actually understand why anyone would want to kill her. Really baffles me, that one. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you like the content, then maybe consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, then don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you will be notified every time I upload a new video. And also don't forget, subscriptions are absolutely free. They will not cost you they will not cost you a penny. Just hit that button and you will be notified every time a new video is put on. Anyway, that's it. That's me, Darren, from Ebdon Road Cemetery and Crematorium. I'll see you on the next one. So bye bye for now.